Who do we have here so far? Good morning, James. So I'm starting just outside the Calyx because I want to show you this magnificent, absolutely stunning. There's two amazing trees here, and this is the outer perimeter. Who'd have thought I would say that about a tree? Hi, Karen. Outer perimeter of a Moreton Bay fig tree. Just look at the size of this. So we're standing here in the Royal Botanical Gardens in Sydney. And over in the background, you can see the city buildings. I'm going to walk around this incredible fig tree. Hi, April and Justin. Good morning. So because we're starting a few minutes early, I thought I'd just show the early arrivals, you guys, this incredible Moreton Bay fig tree. And for anyone who's actually interested in all the details of the tree, there's the plaque. It tells you that it comes from central Queensland, grows right down through to southern New South Wales in rainforest areas, and it starts life as a seedling growing high on existing trees, slowly strangles them as its roots reach the ground. So this has started out as another tree. There would be another tree somewhere buried underneath this incredible, almost architectural, isn't it? Hi, Claire. Hi, Melinda. And good morning, Elizabeth. Check that out. Stunning tree. All right, so let's head down towards the Calyx. Good morning, Karen Elaine. And the other one I wanted to show you before we actually get down to the Calyx is this incredible, what's called a waratah tree. Now, you've heard me going on and on and on and on about waratahs over the last couple of weeks because they're just outstanding this year. But this is a waratah tree, an unrelated species as far as I know. Another common name is the tree grevillea, red grevillea, I beg your pardon. Red silky oak, sorry. Let's get the tree names right. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Carolyn. Let's have a look at the flowers on this. So if anyone recalls all the waratah photos that I've been posting here and there, you can see why it's called a tree waratah. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Look at it. Hi, Anne. Good morning. Hi, Carolyn. So yes, this is the details on that one in case you're interested. Grows in Queensland, up north in the Atherton Tableland to the upper Barron River. Okay, let's head down to the Calyx. We've got 3 minutes before we start, and that's okay because this is beautiful around this area as well. So I started at this in the Royal Botanic Gardens. I think there's 8 gates entries into the actual garden, and I started from the one on Macquarie Street opposite the State Library of New South Wales. And see, these are some of the buildings that are right next to the entrance to the Botanical Gardens here in Sydney. So I just need to go down some steps, but this is just beautiful parklands in this upper area. And I'm not sure what this tree is. It's a big one. A wild plum from South Africa. There we go. It's another big, gigantic tree. So while it's predominantly Australian natives in this garden, there's also trees from all over the world are featured as well. Like, for instance, this one. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a bottle tree. to me. I don't really want to walk on the garden to get to it. Let me see. No, I can't see that. Not sure what that is. White silk floss tree. Anyway, looks a bit like a bottle tree to me. And then in behind you've got those gigantic bamboo. Okay, just over a minute before start time. Let's get down to the Calyx. So the Royal Botanical Gardens is the oldest botanical gardens in Australia. Oh, we've been greeted by a dragon. Being swooped by a noisy miner. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Diane. Did I say hi, Catherine? I think I did. And here we have a eastern water dragon just greeting us at the top of the steps down to the Calyx. Good morning, mate. How are you? And while we're here, I'll just show you, this is interesting as well. These are pandanus trees. Oh, he's on the move. And these are common along the coastal areas of Queensland, northern New South Wales. All right, I might just stop here to turn around. Hi, everyone. I'm carrying my clothing. This is the danger of living in the Blue Mountains, coming down to the city, is you end up carrying all your clothes as you peel them off. All right, so good morning, everyone. My name's Lynn. For anyone who hasn't met me before, hi. And today we're meeting at the Royal Botanical Gardens, and we're going to see the exhibition called Love Your Nature at the Calyx. And just step back out of this person's way. Oh, watch out for the dragon. Sorry, I'll show you what was happening there. We had a fellow just about to walk onto the dragon. That's okay. So yes, hi. For anyone who hasn't met me, my name's Lynn, and we're meeting at the Royal Botanical Gardens. We're going to see the exhibition called Love Your Nature, which is housed in the exhibition space called the Calyx. The Royal Botanical Gardens was started in 1816, so it's more than 200 years old. It's the oldest botanical gardens in Australia, and it started on the site of what was the first farm for the colonisers back in 1788, which unfortunately failed due to a number of reasons. One of them was drought, and the other one was poor soil quality. So this was the place that eventually became the Botanical Gardens. All right, so before we begin, I'd also like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people and pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. So let's head down to the Calyx. And for those who've just joined, we've been greeted this morning at the top of the stairs by this eastern water dragon, just sunning himself. Looks like he might have just picked up an insect of some kind. Let's see if I can get a better angle of him. He's looking right at me. Hello there, fella. There we go. That's not a bad shot. All right, let's zoom out and go down these stairs. And good morning to everyone who's just joined. I noticed after... Oh, there we go. He's on the move again. Debbie. Hi, Mum. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Corinne. Hi, Anne. Katie. Hi, Camillo. Hi, Chelsea. And good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining me this morning. Yeah, he's on the move. I won't try and chase him down. So let's head down these stairs to the Calyx. I've already paid. I've already given them my postcode and done all that formality stuff, and asked him to remember what I look like. He won't be able to miss me. I'm the one with the bright red face after getting a bit sunburnt yesterday. It matches my shirt. Okay. So this space was built in 2016, beg your pardon, on the centenary of the opening of the Botanic Gardens in bicentenary, in fact, 1816. and it replaced what was formerly here was a palm house in like a glass pyramid structure, and they've replaced it with this exhibition space called the Calyx, which is this big round complex with a pond in the middle, and then over on this side is the exhibition space, which we're about to go into. I just want to make sure my cords aren't tugging on my phone. Hi Sky, hi Jennifer, hi Kong, Katie, Julie and Mary Lou. Hi Laurie, good morning everybody, and thanks for coming along this morning. So I'll go in through this entrance here. This is the Calyx. Hi Anna. If you like reflections, here's some reflection shots. Just let these people go ahead of me. This is new. There's a cafe been opened since the last time I came, and this gives you an example of what the flower wall is going to look like. So it's a lot of it, well certainly the last exhibition I was at is planted out with these, someone remind me, what are these called again? I know someone here will know. And they're all in flower at the moment. Look at the tiny little red flowers. Hi Louisa. Hi Carla. Alrighty. So this is the entrance to the exhibition space with this magnificent green wall. And what I'll do first of all is just give you a very quick pan to give you an indication of what it looks like. So it goes all the way along here, all the way down that end until it actually goes out of sight around that corner there, around the curve. And we're going to go up close and have a look at some of the details, see some of the colour patterns. And then amongst it, there are other gardens that have been planted out for this exhibition called Love Your Nature. So the first flower bed is called Love Without Flowers, and it celebrates the non-flowering plants. For instance, the Wallamai pine, which is literally a living dinosaur, living fossil. A plant that was only recently discovered in the last 20 years, or 25 years, in a remote valley in the Blue Mountains. And it's a very ancient plant. In fact, its location is still kept secret. And that's the information about its family. Hi, Raquel. It is beautiful, isn't it, Corinne? Hi, Beatrice. Well, thanks for the follow, Raquel. If anyone's on who isn't already following me, it's a great way to get notifications of any new tours or changes that I might make, or reminders. So let's look down along the wall here. Get up close to these. So I can see 4, I think, Wallamai pines in this little garden bed, and some tree ferns. I'm not sure what this says. Lacy tree fern, ready for love. Ferns release clouds of dust like spores, landing somewhere warm and wet. A single spore grows into a gametophyte. Is that what it's called? A tiny heart-shaped plant that produces eggs and sperm. There we go. There's some information about how ferns reproduce. Now, this board over here actually shows you the pattern that's been designed here and reproduced in plant form. Heuchera, that's the plant, Heucheras. And it says it's made up of 18,000. Oh, I lied. I said 20,000. Sorry. 18,000 is still pretty impressive, though, isn't it? individual plants. Each one is carefully chosen and positioned to create the design. It takes many hours of work, and I believe it's designed in a spreadsheet. Hi, is it Fane? Hi, Eleanor. Okay, let's pan along here again. Isn't that incredible? And just amazing the different colours of the same plant to create this artwork, which you have to call it. It is. It's an artwork. It's a piece of art. So the second garden bed we have, I'm just trying to find out what it's called, but it's filled with these lovely red. What are they? Are they small arum? Are they arum lilies? Look at these glass vases. They're beautiful as well. All right, so the second board says, oh, anthurium. Is that what they are? Anthurium. I'm sorry for my very poor plant knowledge. I know some, but I don't know very many. Since the first flowers appeared over 140 million years ago, plants' love lives have diversified. Flowers are efficient reproduction machines. Got, there's not only bird noises. That's a recording, of course. But there's little bugs buzzing around. You could look right down into the centre and see. All right, I've got 5 bars again. Give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're back. Are we back? Excellent. Thank you, everyone. All right, so I'm back on 5 bars at the moment. I'm going to give this another shot, but obviously something's affecting the signal in there. I've done this tour 3 or 4 times before with varying levels of success, usually good. Sometimes I get a tiny little glitch, but let's go back and try again, all right? Okay, let's see how we go. So can I go back in that way? Thank you so much. Look, as soon as I get to here, it drops to 1 bar. Hang on, okay, 1 bar. All right, guys, how are we doing? It looks like we're going to have trouble if we go back in there again. Thank you, Lynn. Look, I'm going to have one last shot at this, and if we have trouble again, we'll scoot straight out and go straight onto the fernery. We have actually covered most of what I want to show you, and of course, you've seen those beautiful orchids, which are just over there. I can see that I'm down at 1 bar, just standing here. What do you reckon, guys? Should we give it one last shot? I'll just wait for these people to move out of the doorway. Thank you, Corinne. Okay, let's have one last shot at this. Okay, let's head right over this side. What I'll do is I'll just give you a quick recap, as if you like, showing you from this end, looking back towards where we started. Here we go. And then we'll head out to the fernery. I don't want to risk losing you again. All right, so far so good. We're up at like the desert plants end. I've got 2 bars. Not brilliant, but at least you're still there. I've got 3 bars. Okay, grab your postcards, everyone, because we're going to just really make the most of this. I don't want to risk losing you again. It's so random. I've got three, 4 bars here. Okay. Just that one spot was really dodgy, perhaps. I'm not really sure. Heading back towards the orchids. 5 bars at this point. The wall is incredible, Corinne. Absolutely incredible. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? All right, so down here in front of me, I've got desert plants. You can see how I'm really scared to move. I've just got 5 bars standing right here. Okay, let's be brave. Let's be brave. Let's give it a go. Show the orchids. Yes, I'm heading over there, Jennifer. I'm just really leery of losing the signal again. Yeah, we're heading back over there. Yeah, no, it actually cut out completely on me, Laurie. So frustrating when it happens. It really is. Look at this. What is this? I'm glad I came back in. Yeah, I've got 5 bars now. Fantastic. All right, so here's the orchids again over here. Everyone cross your fingers for me. Everyone hold on to something that's lucky. All right, I am approaching very carefully. I want to see these white ones. Watching that signal like a hawk. Let's just do a zoom in first while I'm standing here. Virginia, no, it changes. So, sorry, I went to go backwards. It changes. I've done this tour 3 or 4 times before on 2 different kinds of exhibitions in the past. So this is the 3rd changing exhibition that I've attended. The other one, the last one I went to celebrated basically sea life. So they reinterpreted sea life using plants to represent it, which was really interesting. It runs for a couple of months at a time, and then they change it all out. So let's have a look at this wall while I'm standing here. Let's get the fountain in the foreground. Can't understand why I lost signal. I'm back in almost exactly the same space I was when it went, and I've got 5 bars. Who can tell? It is. It's absolutely incredible. It's a beautiful space. All right. Has everyone grabbed all the postcards you want to get? Because I'm going to head down to the fernery through the rainforest, and I've got a couple of things I want to show you outside as well. So let's just grab a few more last orchid shots. Here we go. They're made of perspex, I think, Diana. I'm not sure how easy they're going to be to postcard, but yeah, there we go. All right, let's head out to the fern house. Thank you so much for your patience. It's been beautiful, and I'm just really, as I said, I don't want to lose you again. So let's continue on while we have luck on our side. But there's some of those last perspex butterflies. Don't know how well they show up. Okay, let's go. It's been beautiful, hasn't it? So they have audio-visual presentations here as well. I think you can hire. Okay, have I got you back again? Thumbs up again, everybody. Let me know. Thanks, Rhonda. Okay, great. Yeah. So it's really tricky, that space. You either you get a signal in one spot, you lose it in another. It's really crazy. Come back. Okay, you're back again. Excellent. Gosh, talk about temperamental. While I'm standing here, there's the Westfield Tower, the top of the Westfield Tower over in the background there, which is basically pretty much the centre of our inner city shopping district. Let's head down to the fernery. Enough of this temperamental signal space. All right, we're going to take you for a walk through the little rainforest walk. I just want to show you this to start with, though, because this is beautiful as well. This is called the Dorrigo Waratah. Very different to the waratahs that we see up in the Blue Mountains. I don't even know if it's a related species. I think it probably is more related to the one I showed, the tree waratah I showed you earlier. But this is just another stunningly beautiful native Australian. Look at that, it's gorgeous. So Dorrigo is in northern New South Wales, and it's up on the tablelands. Okay, so there's a little rainforest walk here. We'll take that and take us down to the fernery. I'm in the cool now. It was getting very warm in the Calyx. So this is where we get both the understory planting, shade lovers, things like this elkhorn fern over here attached to the tree. And again, I'm getting the signal dipping in and out here. But we will persist, as we always do. I don't know what this is, but it gets this big white flower on a stalk. And then up in the tree above it, another elkhorn fern attached to the trunk of that tree. It's so spectacular. I've been to Fraser Island in Queensland, and there's a spot there with this enormous fig tree with a huge display of elkhorn and staghorn ferns attached to the side. And then these are bird's nest ferns here. I think they call them epiphytes, where they're attached to the tree trunks like that. And over on my right, we've got this incredible fern. It's just huge, with a new frond coming up out of it. This one's from Lord Howe Island. So there's a new frond just coming out at the base, ready to unfurl. And when it does, it's going to look like this. Hi Daisy, hi Rhonda, and hi Connie. Okay, let's keep moving. Look at this one. This is very cute. Thanks for the follow, James. Okay, continuing along this path with palms and ferns. It's a bit steamy today, and as I said, coming from the Blue Mountains where it's much cooler, and I start out the day dressed for, well, I bring a cardigan or jacket or something. Look at these tree ferns. And I end up carrying my clothes when I get down to Sydney because it's completely different temperature. I was looking for a spot. I saw some maidenhair ferns earlier, but I can't find them now. Here, look at this with the sun glowing through the leaves. Alrighty. Lovely little rainforest walk. Really beautiful. Here we go. And we should never forget to look up. Oh, Lynn, not very cold at all, really, by Canadian standards. You know, we hit the sort of zero mark occasionally, and that's about it. Yeah, it doesn't get down below freezing, really. Not Sydney certainly, and rarely in the Blue Mountains. We're just sooks. It's what you're used to, isn't it? Now here's a staghorn. It's obviously they're attempting to get this established on the trunk of this tree here. Hi, Jill. So today I think in Sydney we're looking at getting to the mid-20s, but it's very humid because we're in our third season apparently of La Nina. We're getting very wet summers, and it's the humidity that makes it so uncomfortable. Look at these ones just sort of growing up on the edge of this tree trunk, and we can hear rustling in the undergrowth. That's this thing, the ibis. A very successful urbanisation. These guys come from wetlands areas in northern parts of Australia, but they've become very urbanised very successfully. And let's actually zoom in on it in case we don't see another one. This one's doing all right. He's foraging in the undergrowth. That's okay. But you can often see them also foraging in bins, and they've earned the less than flattering nickname of bin chicken. All right, let's get round to the fernery. Looks like there's a bit of a guided tour happening down there. There's a group of people down there. Laurie, I have to agree, except when we get lots of storm damage. So it's kind of a case of one extreme or the other. So there are parts of Australia that have been inundated by flood 4 times in the last 12 months, for example. So, it's careful what you wish for, as the old saying goes. What we have here is a planting of insectivorous plants. So they're pitcher plants, and they gain nutrients by attracting insects into those open pitchers, and the insects are digested by the plant. Let's see if I can get close to one of them. I'm having trouble with the light, and the gimbal doesn't want to go down to that angle. I'm not sure if you're actually seeing what I'm seeing. Come on, gimbal. Oh, there we go. That's better. So there's the picture there, and I'll try and look inside it. Which way do I go? No, not that way. This way. Let's see, can we get down inside? Not really. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Climate change at work, exactly, Anne. Yeah. Oh, look at this little guy. And this is called a coot. C-O-O-T. I'm mindful of time. We've got 15 minutes roughly left on the tour. Hi, Una. Okay, let's get around this way. Might get a better angle of it. He's not bothered by me being here. Seems to be the way of the world lately. Yeah, extreme weather everywhere, isn't it, Corinne? All right. Oh, I'm zoomed in. Sorry, guys. So this section here, we're walking through an area of palms. And we're going to go through to the fernery just on our right here. So what we have on either side of us, before we get into the fernery, this is glass houses. And thank you, Rhonda. And it says it's called Latitude 23 glass houses between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn grow rare, spectacular and precious plants. So you can get exclusive access to these tours that go into these glass houses. $73 for Chicago in November. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it, Laurie? I did Mike's architecture tour on the river the other day in Chicago, and the weather looked spectacular, which is just wrong for this time of the year. You should be under 6 feet of snow by now, shouldn't you? Yeah, I kind of got the gist of what you meant. 82 on Saturday and 40 today. That's a dramatic difference, isn't it? All right, so what we got walking into, and I'm going to pre-warn you, there could be issues with signal in here as well, because we're under a big metal arch structure. You can see the misting. I can see that my signal just dipped down to 2 just now, just by looking at it. So we see the misting spray in here. All right. Okay. And if it looks like it's going to get really bad, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to hang around if it's going to be really bad. I can see that we've got 1 bar at the moment. Is everyone still here? We'll go through quickly. Perfect. It really is beautiful in here, so I want you to have the experience if that's at all possible. Fantastic. Thanks, Joyce. So we're seeing, there is a signboard here somewhere that tells me exactly how many, but there are hundreds of different varieties of ferns in here. There's actually not much to smell at the moment. Azaleas are right next to me. We've got a little stand of azaleas. And well, let me see, do they have a perfume? Well, they actually do. They have a very sweet perfume. I didn't realise azaleas even had a perfume. Let me see, can I describe that perfume? It's rather sweet, perhaps a bit like a jasmine. We've got begonias down here on my right. And we're standing underneath this imposing tree fern here. I'll just let these ladies pass me. Oh, sorry, that's all right, no problem. Oh, it's a little bit wet. I need to be careful of my gimbal, not of me, of my gimbal. Look at these ones here. Right, I'm hoping the picture's holding, it's not breaking up. Hi, Zoo. Hi, Rick. And hi, Paul. Got some lovely begonias down here. Oh, thanks, Una. We've got some bromeliads. And then over on my left is this cute little bridge. Now, this is a story that you may not be aware of. So I'll read it to you. If you discovered a fern, what would you name it? Reddish scales on the leaves might inspire you to call it Perosia, from the Greek word pyros, meaning flame-coloured. Or perhaps you'd prefer to honour a person, maybe a scientist or a celebrity. Pop star Lady Gaga has 19 ferns species named after her. 1, Gaga monstropava, Monster Little, is named for her fans, the little monsters. The Gaga ferns were discovered because scientists have been using DNA to reorganise the fern family tree. Sometimes individual species or even whole groups, like the Gaga ferns, need to be reclassified. The new naming rights go to the scientist who untangles that branch of the family tree. So obviously, that scientist was a Lady Gaga fan. So there you go. And look at this. We saw a couple of ferns unfurling outside in the forest walk. Look at this one. Isn't that stunning? It's like a piece of sculpture, isn't it? Living sculpture. All right, still on 2 bars. Holding. And this looks like an orchid, but I'm not sure that it is. The leaves are different. Okay, let me get down low and we'll have a look at this. So it's not an orchid. A poorly known genus of possibly 400 species, widespread in warmer regions. Well, maybe it's not that one because that leaf looks different. So I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Way out of line. Okay, it is an orchid. It's an Australian orchid growing from Cooktown to Lake Hattie, which is near Port Macquarie on the north coast of New South Wales. So this is a native Australian orchid. It's getting nice and close so you can see it. Isn't it beautiful? And I've never seen it before. This is the first time I've ever seen this flower. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to look back along the path, see how it looks from this angle. I think that makes a nice postcard. What do you think? Hi, Turquoise. Okay, so that's the fernery. Now what I'm going to do is just walk down towards the lower part of the garden just briefly and just show you what's out in flower at the moment. Plus I want to get into a space that's going to offer me more than 2 bars signal. Let's look back on the fern house before we leave it. There we go. Back to 3 bars. Phew, sigh of relief. All right. So we've got a few minutes left. It's a kids' education space here for schools. Oh, we're not done yet, Carolyn. I'm going to try and see what else we can see. For instance, look at this. And there's a noisy miner. Are you going to let me get up close to you, mate? Come on. Come on. Everyone wants to see you. Looks like he's showing us his best side. There we go. Off he goes. So I don't know if these two are the same species or not, but look at the difference in size in flowers. We've got these ones here next to this one here, which is dramatically different in terms of flower size. Well, there's that little noisy miner again. Let's see if he'll let us get close again. There's obviously lots of honey in these flowers. Okay. They're bold little birds and they will attack anyone who comes, any bird who comes near their nesting space. Doesn't matter how big it is, they'll go for it. Your postcards aren't working, Rhonda. Oh no, that's no good. How's everyone else going with postcards? Yours are fine, Rhonda? I don't know if refreshing is going to help okay, with 2 Rhondas in this conversation. Buffalo Rhonda, I don't know if refreshing if you're on the website, if refreshing is going to help you or not. But it looks like everyone else is going fine. So, yeah, that's. I'm really sorry you're having that experience. Look at this monster here. I don't know what this tree is, but it's a big one. It's a huge one. Look at that. Go up there like that and have a look. Big tree. So at this point in the garden, we're quite close to, there's a stream that runs through it, let down to a lake. So let's sort of just have a look at a few more of the beautiful flowers that are out at the moment. Got this one here. This is really pretty. Yeah, we passed some. I should have pointed them out, Una. Hold on just a second. I'll see if I can spot one from here. I have these cycads. Let's have a look. Or are these palms? Oh, it's a palm, that one. Where were the cycads? Back this way. There's just so much packed in here. I'm trying to remember where you saw everything. Can't remember where I saw them now. Una, I might not be able to help you. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go and have a look at the whale and the echidna instead. How's that for a tease? Cycads. Where are the cycads? Hi, Francis. And hi, Jan. Oh, we've got a cassowary here. And of course, we're going back to Featherdale in a couple of weeks. So they've got real cassowaries at Featherdale. Don't forget to keep an eye out for that tour. Back out in the heat. Hi Hannah, hi Nicola. So over here, here's the echidna. Let me try and get the exposure sorted out. So it's been planted up with, I think, the aloe veras. And we've got the ants as well. There's the ant coming out of the nest. There's the echidna. I'll step back so we can try and get more of it in shot. It's cool, isn't it? Sorry about the chain fence. I can't do anything about that. And just down here, these are some of my favourite Australian flowers. I've got lots of them though, you know. Look, flannel flowers and kangaroo paws planted together. And the flannel flowers are just beautiful right now. They're just so gorgeous. I saw a bunch of them yesterday driving back from Newcastle, down along the coastal highway, in amongst the really impoverished sandy soil right along the coast. Let's get in close for you. Okay, so and next to them the beautiful pink kangaroo paws. Let's get in nice and close. Is that in focus? I think it's having trouble to focus. And flannel flower, here we go. And of course it's called a flannel flower because the whole plant, it's not just the flower petals themselves, but the plant as well, feels like really soft flannel. Back past the echidna. I've just gone a few minutes over time. We'll finish up over here by the whale. So grab the echidna shot. There we go. And we'll finish up back over here at the humpback whale. There's the calyx in the background. Yeah, on a larger scale, Corinne. Exactly. And look at the barnacles on the underside of the whale. So here we have the head of the whale. Brilliant, isn't it? And I think they're mainly ivies, I think. That's ivy being used to cover the head. It's good to see it starting to, all the vegetation starting to take hold. When I was here last time, it was only newly planted. And it's called Giant Hero Humpback Whale. Eating, playing, travelling vast distances. It says there. This whale fertilizer grows billions of phytoplankton, tiny algae that create the oxygen we breathe and are the foundation of the ocean's food web. So there's the head, and then over here we have the gorgeous whale tail. Oh, Melanie, not a hedgehog, an echidna. They look kind of similar. Okay, I'm just having trouble reading everything here. Hi, Charles. Hi, Terry. Hi, Helen. You're at the Chinese Friendship Gardens last Thursday, and it made me think of the first tour I took with you. Oh, thanks, Debbie. It's just beautiful there. I have to go back there again. Fantastic. Yeah, don't talk to me about cruises. Don't talk to me about whale watching specifically. Some people here in this room might remember an unfortunate experience I had a couple of weeks ago. All right, okay, that's me done, I think. Let me see. How's everyone going? Did you enjoy the tour today? So one last thing. While we're here, I mean, we've been looking not only for waratahs, we've been looking for jacarandas, and here we go. Here's a beautiful jacaranda tree. But I'm doing the jacaranda tour next week. So we're going to see lots of jacarandas next week. But while we're here and we can see one, let's go and have a closer look at it. Oh, thanks, Debbie. I appreciate it. Yeah, best I watch whales on dry land. I absolutely agree, Corinne. It's less expensive as well. Here's a cycad. It's not a very good one. It looks a bit, looks like it needs a bit of attention. But that's a cycad. See if it's got any new growth. I can't see any new growth coming up through the middle. Yeah, it's only a young one. But at least I got you one. Oh, hang on. There's a whole lot of them here. Look. Cycads all over the place. There's a little one. This one's a healthy looking one. And it looks like it's got new fronds coming up through the middle. There we go. And it's standing underneath, I think it's not a Norfolk Island pine. What is it? It's a hoot pine. It's a hoot pine. And we're going to need to look up for this one. Up, up, up. Oh, right. Okay. Yep. A friend of mine has some growing in her backyard. And they look spectacular. All right. So here we go. We're going to finish up over here next to this beautiful jacaranda tree. With its signature purple carpet underneath. Find a good spot. Where we can get the colour. I'm trying to get the colour in for you. Let me see. How's that working out? It's not brilliant, is it? Getting a lot of... that's a little bit better. You're very welcome, Corinne. And, okay, let's turn around here. And I'll wish you all... There we go. Bye, everybody. Thanks you all for joining. I hope you've enjoyed the tour. Look, my hair looks a mess. I've got clothing over my shoulder. what a state I'm in. Thanks all for coming on. I hope you all enjoyed it. I always love having you here for company. I appreciate you being here, and gives me a great excuse to come out and explore all these wonderful places. All right, so tomorrow I'm taking a day off. Friday, we're coming back into the city. Thank you, Jennifer. We're coming back into the city on Friday for the 11th hour, 11th day, 11th month, Remembrance Day, Armistice Day at the Anzac Memorial in Hyde Park. I'm going to start at St Mary's Cathedral, beautiful St Mary's Cathedral. We might peek inside the doors because it's just gorgeous. I'm actually off to explore Cathedral Street, which is just down beneath it right now, to see what the jacarandas are like down there. So I might start in Cathedral Street, walk up to the cathedral, through Hyde Park, and then finish at the Anzac Memorial. I plan to do this tour again, but I'm just not sure how soon, Melinda. And I am actually doing a different part of this garden next week. It's called the Succulent Garden, and it's over the other side of the same garden, the same botanical gardens, just a different section of it. So have a look out for that one. It's called the Succulent Garden at the Royal Botanic Gardens. And what else have I missed? Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for your great comments. I love to see your feedback. And let's finish by looking at, what are we going to look at? I might finish by looking out over this way here towards the city. So see you on another tour soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Please share your postcards. I always love to see them. There we go. There's the city in the background. Bye, everybody.